Yo, what's up, Steven? What's good, baby? Yo, it's the good bad guy Tama Tonga. Hold up. Nah. We gotta do it. We're a new one. This is 2020, man. It's just crazy. It's the babyface heel. Tama Tonga. The OG triple OG Bullet Club OG triple. That's right. Hey, dude. Yo, I heard you got a good ass YouTube channel out there. Shout out to Heel Stevens YouTube channel. Hope you keep it 100 over there, man. Keep it real. And everybody know, G.O.D. ain't nobody realer than Gorilla. Keep it 100, bro. Okay? Stay up. Stay healthy. Stay positive. It's during these crazy ass times, dude. Too sweet.
I know I am late. It is what it is. This is your NXT TakeOver 30 review here on Around the Point. This will be literally one of 3 Around the Points for this Sunday. Yes, it is Sunday. It is August 23rd, 2020. It is Summerslam Sunday, more importantly. I am tired as shit, as you will see when I put the webcam on, but the grind just keeps on going, if you will. Anyway, before I go any further with TakeOver 30, I want to give a big thank you to Dave Sack. If you watch the beginning of this video, you'll notice the babyface heel Tama Tonga of the Bullet Club from New Japan Pro Wrestling giving a shout out of some sort to yours truly. And that's all thank you to Dave Sack for making it happen. Dave Sack, a couple of months ago, got NXT superstar Dominic Dijakovic to do the same thing. And again, I cannot thank Dave Sack enough. So fucking awesome. Dave Sack, again, I said this so many times, when it comes to Around the Point, he's like the John Draper, if you will, of Around the Point. Cannot thank Dave Sack enough. Anyway, I thought TakeOver 30 was a kick-ass of a show. I think every TakeOver, when you think about it, right, it's been 30 TakeOvers already. If you're Natalia, per her Instagram story, it's been 30 years of TakeOver. Holy shit. Then the first TakeOver would have been in 1990 by her logic, but it is what it is. It's insane. I know, again, I feel like shit right now. I did not watch TakeOver like everyone else did at 7 p.m. I was at an indie show. My first live wrestling event of 2020 was today, outdoors for WrestlePro. Had a fun time. Had a really fun time. The main event was Joey Janela and Brian Myers going at it. It was hyped up as AEW versus Impact Wrestling, to which then became a tag team match. And now Brian Myers and Joey Janela are the new WrestlePro tag team champions, which it's kind of funny that I'm talking about that now during an NXT review, but it is what it is, a takeover of that, of anything, right? But the one thing that I'll say, though, about TakeOver 30 that I do wish, and I know I'm not the only one that feels this way, the one thing that's missing from just that takeover feeling, if you will, is the crowd and audience. A lot of these takeovers, yes, the wrestling on these shows are always amazing, but the one thing about these shows is just the audience, the crowd, that reaction, the cheers, the boo, the thrill, the excitement, right? From the people that are in these buildings, right? That's what was missing. The same way it was missing for TakeOver in your house, the same way it was missing for the Great American Bash, and I guess even now. And the one thing that I do wish for the next TakeOver, and again, I don't know how everyone feels about this, but have it take place in the Thunderdome. Now, I know for a lot of people, the Thunderdome right now has a lot of mixed reactions, but that's what I want to see. I'd rather have that at this point than have them be at Full Sail, which is, again, is fine. You went back to the home of the first TakeOver. Fine, all the hell you want. But at the same time, though, when you think of TakeOver and the standard that it is, right? Have it be in an arena, right? Even if it's the Thunderdome and all that stuff. That's just me, of course. But anyway, if you watch TakeOver 30, give me your thoughts in the comments below, your favorite match of the show and all that stuff. Or now let me know on Twitter at HeelSteven. Yes, this is one of 3 editions of Around the Point. I will be recording another episode of Around the Point later today where I give my thoughts on, well, my predictions, if you will, for SummerSlam 2020 and some other stuff that happened this week in wrestling. And then later on in the night, I'll be going live for the post SummerSlam review. So if you're not yet subbed to the channel, what the fuck are you waiting for? So I did miss the kickoff show. It was the triple threat tag team match. It was Breezango versus Legado de Fantasma, Joaquin Wilde and Raul Mendoza versus Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch. The winners were going to go on to face off Imperium for the tag team titles. And overall, from what I heard, Breezango got the win. The match went like 10 minutes, so there was that too. So by virtue of the win, Breezango will face Imperium somewhere in the upcoming weeks on NXT television, I'm assuming here, so there's that. We go to the main card. The main card kicked off with Finn Balor versus Timothy Thatcher. And I thought overall for TakeOver, that is, right? It was a solid opener. Nothing to go crazy about. It kicked off with both guys doing a lot of grappling, right? You think of Finn Balor, you don't think of him being of this grappling wrestler, if you will, right? But Thatcher really worked it, had him in all these submission maneuvers, abdominal stretches and all that stuff. There was a moment in the match where Finn Balor goes for like the coup de grace and he misses and he fucks up his leg, right? And then Thatcher started working on Balor's leg. Eventually, though, when it was all said and done, Balor did get some momentum again. He did hit the coup de grace and then the 1916 for the 1-2-3. I honestly would not have Finn Balor win. I would have had that shock win. Oh my God, Thatcher pulled an upset here. That's what I would have had. But then again, they kept mentioning the fact that, Finn Balor has the most TakeOver wins. So there's that. I was fine with that too. But for a one-off match, again, for TakeOver standards, not the best kickoff match for a TakeOver. But for what they put out there is fine. I'm pretty sure if they went at it again at an episode of NXT, something like that, I do think they'll have a better match than this. That's just my humble opinion. All right. So from there, we go on to, also give me your thoughts on that as well. But from there, we go on to the ladder match to crown a new NXT North American champion. You had Johnny Gargano versus Bronson Reed versus Cameron Grimes versus Damian Priest and the returning Velveteen Dream. As you all know, all these men won matches to be placed in this ladder match. And I thought overall, it was very, very fun. A very fun ladder match. One thing that I will appreciate about ladder matches in WWE, they allow everyone to get a moment to shine. Even if they don't win, they come out of it good. It's not like, oh my God, this person was buried, this person was made to look bad. Everyone had a moment to shine. I thought, honestly, in my humble opinion, the MVP of this match, even though he didn't win, had to go to Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed also was paying tribute to Bam Bam Bigelow with his ring attire, right? And again, this match was fucking fun. There's moments where Gargano, Velveteen Dream, and Cameron Grimes were teaming up on Damian Priest and Bronson Reed, right? Eventually they all turn on each other, right? There's a moment where I guess Cameron Grimes is climbing the ladder and you see Candice LeRae getting involved, slapping the shit out of fucking Cameron Grimes as well, trying to help Johnny Gargano. Candice does a dive to the outside as well with the Hurricane Rana off the apron to Cameron Grimes, to the people that are literally at the ringside area stuff. Bronson Reed looked like he had the match won, and it's funny because Candice gets involved and she's like trying to put Bronson Reed to sleep here, right? And he dies off with Candice on literally wrapped around him and shit, does a splash onto Gargano. Again, everyone had moments to shine here. There's a moment too where Gargano does like a sunset flip, and again, a ladder is suspended from the middle rope onto the other ladder, right? And he goes for a sunset flip, and it looked like Cameron Grimes hit like a part of the ladder, not the whole ladder, and he fucked up his back. Damian Priest catapults himself off the ladder onto the floor. Like, we've seen this before, right? At WrestleMania a couple of years ago with Shelton Benjamin, where he'll like run to the top of the ladder, like when it's just hung like literally on the rope, if you will, and he catapulted off to the outside and shit. We've seen this before, right? Again, everyone had moments to shine here. They did. Velveteen Dream took a nasty bump to the outside onto the tables. Even though people weren't happy that he was in the match, it is what it is. It came down to Johnny Gargano and Damian Priest. Gargano, like, he had the match won. Priest tried to go for the choke slam. Gargano is hitting Priest with the title, and they both, like, they're holding on. It's like a tug of war. But eventually, it was all said and done. Johnny falls, and Damian Priest is now your new North American champion. I was off on my prediction. I did say Cameron Grimes as like that shock win as well. Like, oh my God, like, who saw that coming almost? But I'm fine with the two. I'm fine. Damian Priest has come a long way, right? To think a couple of takeovers ago, he was having a match with Finn Balor, and from there he became like a babyface. And happy for him. Even in Celebration, he celebrated with women in a hot tub, drinking champagne and stuff like that. That was pretty cool. But again, I feel like everyone here had a moment to shine. That's what's important here as well. And I look forward to seeing now where they go from here. I mean, you can do a program. If there's a program to do, like a feud, I would say Gargano and Bronson Reed. You can do that as a program of some sort. Or again, you can do Gargano and Damian Priest for the championship. There's so many ways to go with. There's so many routes to go, if you will, with all men here that were involved in this ladder match. From there, we go on to Adam Cole, baby, versus Pat McAfee. The moment was finally here. We're going to find out how good or how bad was Pat McAfee, right? And a lot of people were very skeptic. We're wondering, okay, could this guy deliver in the ring? Could this guy go out there, even though he's never done this before? And it's been very, we've all been aware of that shit. Could he go out there? And again, at the standard of a takeover, right? Because a lot of fans put takeover in the same standard as WrestleMania, right? A lot of fans do that. I don't know why, but they do. Could he go out there and put on a hell of a match with one of the top guys of NXT, that being Adam Cole? And I gotta say, this guy, for his first time, fucking delivered. Holy shit. This guy went out there like he's done this shit before. And again, it's his first time, his in-ring debut and all that stuff, right? It's funny because I think it was Corey Graves, because Mauro wasn't even there. Corey Graves said, oh, this is like the best, in-ring debut for someone who did it who did it for the first time, right? But yet, Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania 34 did a better job, in my opinion, that is, right? But again, Pat McAfee here held his own. He was literally just giving every offensive maneuver he could give to Adam Cole, got some near falls. There's a moment in the match, and I just like, oh my God, with I think like the holy shit moment, if you will, right? They're both on the top turnbuckle, right? And I think Pat McAfee wanted to like suplex Adam Cole from the top turnbuckle onto the floor, or if on the canvas, if you will, right? And Cole pushes him, and Pat McAfee does a backflip in midair and lands on his feet, which almost like, wow, holy shit. And then just the what the fuck, if you will, right? Like, holy shit, even more. He leaps from the floor to the top turnbuckle like it was nothing, and hits this fucking superplex for a near fall. And again, at the same time, I want to believe too that, Pat McAfee rehearsed for this match. I want to believe these two guys went out there early in the day and practiced every significant spot for this match. Like, there's a moment too early on in the match where Pat McAfee, like, you had members of the Undisputed Era who Adam Cole early in the match told all of them to go to the back, right? Roderick, Bobby Fish, and Kyle O'Reilly, even though Pat McAfee came out with his cronies and shit. And they're all on the outside. And Pat McAfee gets on the top turnbuckle and jumps off to the outside and does like a senton almost, right? Lands on everybody. Like, everyone goes insane too and shit, right? And it's funny because on commentary, right, Corey Graves is like praising the shit out of Pat McAfee, while Beth Phoenix like, oh yeah, he's a good athlete, but you know what, I'm still not so. Like, bitch, shut up. Shut the fuck up, okay? I will say this, again, for someone who did it for this first time, it delivered. Honestly, if we could see more, if you will, there's a moment near the end, like, it looked like Pat McAfee was gonna win this whole thing, right? He hits the fucking kick that he hit on Adam Cole a couple of weeks ago, got a near fall. He tries to do it on the outside. He hits his foot on the ring step, and that's where it was at the beginning of the end almost, where Adam Cole had his way and then hit the Panama Sunrise for the 1, 2, 3. And Adam Cole got the win, as expected. I was expecting as well of members of the UE to come out and turn on Adam Cole. That didn't happen. But again, I know a lot of people who are not big on these outside guys coming in, right? Again, this, when you think about it, was a moment of desperation. If you're NXT, right? AEW, and I hate to be the one, because I know everyone does this shit, but AEW has been kicking NXT's ass in the ratings, right? And in the demo numbers and shit like that. So if you're Triple H and if you're Vince, right? You know that Pat McAfee has a show. He has this successful podcast. He's been on the Super Bowl. He played in the Pro Bowl. Okay, I'm not a football expert, okay? But they keep mentioning that shit, right? During the whole show, during the entire build-up to this match, right? They thought, hey, this guy can bring in eyes, bring in eyeballs into the NXT product. Has he delivered on that? Again, I'll leave that to you guys. But as far as him performing in the ring, fucking home run. But again, I do believe, though, that they rehearsed this like crazy, and someone like Adam Cole really helped here as well, made Pat McAfee feel like $1 million. Now, one person delivered on their debut. Now let's see what happens later on tonight on SummerSlam when Dominic faces Seth Rollins. Let's see how that one goes out later on the day as well. From there, we go on to the NXT Women's Championship. Dakota Kai versus Io Shirai. I thought overall, as far as a women's championship match, right, and to the standard of a takeover, right, to me, it just felt a little short. I'm not saying this was a bad match. It was not. I thought this match was pretty solid, right? Io Shirai and Dakota Kai going at it. They went back and forth with offense. You had Raquel Gonzalez at ringside for this as well. And I did say, leading up to this match, I wasn't buying into the fact that, hey, Dakota Kai, who was afraid, right, who was scared as shit early on in her NXT run, right, scared as shit of Shayna Baszler, is a threat to Io Shirai. I was not buying into that. You bring in Raquel Gonzalez as her muscle, then the whole thing changes. And it looked like, and again, we've seen this before at TakeOver, the referee bump, and oh my God, it's over and shit. Io gets thrown into the corner, and it looked like she's about to hit the referee, but pauses, and then Dakota goes for like that kick she does in the corner, hits the referee. Io does the moonsault. The referee's not even there. Raquel Gonzalez lays her out with like a pump handles drop, whatever, and then she throws Dakota Kai on top of Io for a near fall. A near fucking fall. There's a moment as well where Io Shirai does a moonsault on the outside and lands on Raquel, throws Dakota in back into the ring, goes for the moonsault again. I thought she was gonna miss, right? And that was it. I literally thought for a second, okay, they're really going to go with Dakota Kai here. But no, they didn't. Io hits the third moonsault for the 1, 2, 3, and still NXT Women's Champion, Io Shirai. After this, right, Raquel Gonzalez goes in and attacks Io Shirai, making you guys think that, oh, Raquel next in line, right? How can that even be? And then out came Rhea Ripley to confront Raquel Gonzalez. There's a stare off, right? This fucking stare, like, okay, who's gonna hit the first shot? And there's that. What this does, though, it's not the end of this Dakota Io. I hope it is, though, but I don't think it really is, to be honest with you guys. Because at the same time, there really isn't that much more. There really isn't that many women right now that you can see challenging or even in deserving to challenge Io Shirai, if you ask me. Right? Rhea Ripley was champion. She lost her opportunity at WrestleMania. But at the same time, I'm not clamoring for a Rhea Ripley versus Io Shirai. Shotzi Blackheart, as entertaining as she may be, I'm not clamoring to see Shotzi versus Io. Raquel Gonzalez, not right now. They make you think that was next. At the same time, I don't want to see a rematch of Io Shirai and Dakota Kai either. I don't. There really isn't that many women right now that I feel, again, is deserving to challenge Io Shirai. So there's that. But from what it looks like, we're gonna get we're gonna get a Rhea Ripley and Raquel Gonzalez program of some sort. So there's that. Maybe, just maybe, I guess, if you want to throw a name out there right now that I guess you could do, is a Mercedes Martinez. But I don't know really if that's even gonna happen right now. But we shall see. Then we get to the main event. Oh, before we get into the main event, NXT made a couple of announcements. The return of NXT UK is on September 17th from the BT Sports studio in London. So that's cool if you're a fan of NXT UK. They're coming back, right? That's awesome. And this coming Wednesday is the return of Tommaso Ciampa, former NXT champion. The last time we saw him was at In Your House when he got literally manhandled by Karrion Kross. We get to the main event for the NXT Championship. Keith Lee defending the title versus Karrion Kross. Now, the big question was, because Karrion Kross is arriving to NXT, who has been given the rocket ship, right? Pushed to the high level, right? Were they going to pull the trigger and give Karrion Kross the championship here, right? And give Keith Lee a short run, all transitional champion, stuff like that? I'll be honest. This match, for me at least, right? I thought it was a solid match. Not, oh my God, this crazy main event. And again, just like I mentioned earlier with Finn Balor and Timothy Thatcher, I do feel if Karrion Kross and Keith Lee do a rematch, which I think they will, obviously now, maybe not at a takeover, maybe you can, or if not on television, it'll be better than this, right? Karrion Kross out conditioning Keith Lee. Well, no shit, right? Just worked on him with all these submission moves, these grappling moves, right? Just literally just out conditioning Keith Lee here. Keith Lee looked gassed the fuck out in this match too, right? Don't get me wrong, he had moments as well. He had some moments here and there. There's a moment in the match where Karrion Kross locks in the his choke, like his sleeper hold, right? Or the cross jacket sleeper. That's what I remember in Impact, right? He locks it in, and Keith Lee, like he's fading away. And the referee grabs his hand and he's about to go down, and Lee at the last second saves it. Is like, he's still in the fight. He does hit the Spirit Bomb, Power Bomb, it looked like. The Spirit Bomb, if you will, for a near fall. When it was all said and done, though, Karrion Kross, they're in the corner. And he hits from the middle rope, Saito suplex for the 1, 2, 3. And new NXT champion Karrion Kross. And it's funny because you have Scarlett, who is just losing her shit at the result of Karrion Kross winning the championship. As she's in the ring, she's just punching the shit out of Karrion Kross in his chest rapidly in celebration. She does not know how to react to the fact that, again, her boyfriend, her man, is now the new king of NXT now. Now, a lot of people are going to probably be upset the fact that, oh my God, you know, how dare they give Keith Lee this short run with the championship? It's not right. It's bullshit. People will say that, right? At the same time, you know, hey, you think about it, right? He will go down in history as the one with the shortest run, 52 days, something like that. Nothing wrong with that. Not everyone is supposed to have this long ass of a fucking run with the title. Dusty Rhodes used to have a short run with the title. That was fine too. So I'm not angry. I'm not upset. You think about Keith Lee, when you think about it, right? Has so far the best run, right? As far as being in NXT, right? Had that appearance at Survivor Series, like I mentioned in my predictions, right? Hung in there with Roman Reigns. I want to believe if the world was normal, right? We didn't have a pandemic right now and Keith Lee was on the main roster, he'd be working with Roman Reigns or teaming up with them on an episode of SmackDown or some shit like that. But he'd be in there with Roman Reigns right now. At the Royal Rumble, he hung in there with Brock Lesnar, took him down, right? Won the North American title. Became the champ, beating Adam Cole. Vacated the North American title. Here he is, main eventing TakeOver. SummerSlam weekend, lose to Karrion Kross. I do think, though, if you're Karrion Kross, the way to go about it now is, I think is next in line, obviously, is Keith Lee. He's do a rematch. But at the same time, this coming Wednesday is the return of Tommaso Ciampa. And remember, at TakeOver in your house, Karrion Kross manhandled Tommaso Ciampa. So I'm pretty sure Ciampa wants revenge. And we're going to see Ciampa versus Kross for the championship down the road. I'm fine with that too. At the same time, if they want to bring up Keith Lee to the main roster, because I'm pretty sure Vince wants to really bring him up there already, why the fuck not also? I'm okay with that as well. But overall, I thought TakeOver 30 was a kick-ass of a TakeOver. I do wish, though, that there was a crowd. I do wish that for the next TakeOver, they're in the Thunderdome. That's just my opinion, of course. Guys, once again, in the chat or in the comments, if you will, give me your thoughts on TakeOver 30, or now let me know on Twitter at HeelSteven. Follow me on Twitter, obviously, at HeelSteven. All that fun stuff. I'll be back later on today for an episode of Around the Point, my thoughts, my predictions for SummerSlam 2020, my thoughts on AEW having fans back in Daly's Place at a certain capacity selling tickets, my thoughts on Renee Young leaving, my thoughts on the Thunderdome and all that stuff. So again, if you're not yet subbed to the channel, hit the subscribe button. And as well, later on after SummerSlam, I'll be live for my live review of SummerSlam. So if you're not yet sub, hit the bell icon, all that fun stuff. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Big thank you to Dave Sack. Thank you to Tama Tonga. And this has been a episode of Around the Point. Peace out, dorks. Happy SummerSlam Sunday, y'all.